Following the court order on 3rd February 2017, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and the Central Organization of Trade Unions were appointed as mediators on the ongoing doctors' strike. We have been engaged in mediation with the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists and Dentists Union and the Ministry of Health and the County of Governors and other stakeholders for the past 7 days in a bid to find amicable and lasting solutions to end the ongoing doctors' strike. We did this because of our commitment to the right to health and the costs to the country in terms of life and quality of life, loss of life and quality of life, occasioned by the great disruption of the delivery of health services in the country. In the past week, since Saturday through yesterday, and we stopped past midnight this morning. About 1 o'clock, we left this office. We gave it our all, consulting widely, and we had all the relevant actors around the mediation table, and we had the Council of Governors represented. We've had the Salaries and Remuneration Commission on a number of occasions, including yesterday when none other but the chair of the SRC appeared around the mediation table to help us resolve some solutions and some issues and some disputes which were still outstanding. We've had a representative from the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, representatives including the director and her chief directors from the Kenyatta National Hospital, which is greatly affected by the ongoing strike. We had expert representation from the Federation of Kenyan Employers, FKE, and they brought a lot of expertise on resolution of trade disputes to the table. We had high representation from the Public Service Commission, the Treasury, the Ministry of Health, cooperated fully in terms of contributing to the mediation process that I'm happy to report progressed very well throughout the week. By virtue of confidentiality agreements signed by all parties at the beginning of the mediation process, we are bound not to reveal or divulge pertinent information unless with the consent of all parties. This was a professional mediation, and it was conducted along internationally set standards, and that is why we have not engaged you, members of the press, in any part of the ongoing process so as to safeguard the sanctity of the mediation table. As of yesterday, we had an acceptable draft recognition agreement that was mediated by us, negotiated between the parties, and accepted between the union and the Council of Governors, and will form the basis of the recognition agreements that will be signed by the various county governments and the union. We had also progressed further and worked on the contents of the collective bargaining agreement. Indeed, about 90% of the issues in the agreement were totally settled, actually above 90% of the issues. And we were literally at the tail end of the negotiations and the agreements when time simply lapsed. I would like to say that we, the court-appointed mediators, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, and the Central Organization on Trade Unions, COTU, we remain engaged and committed to the process in line with agreements so far reached by all parties involved. We understand fully that the court has to jealously guard its orders and mandates for its authority and independence to be respected in society. We have taken note of Justice Wasilwa's ruling today, and particularly her direction that mediation should continue. We, the mediators, remain committed to working with the respective parties towards finding amicable solutions in this rather complex matter. We recognize that frustrations during the mediation processes can occur, and especially in processes that have such limited time. We were working within a very constricted time, and we had extreme time constraints within which to settle so many issues among a myriad of parties. Thus, the effect in such cases is an opportunity to voice the same for greater understanding. We are thereby clarifying that the mediation table remains active and the overnight meetings remain until we find or you see white smoke. Finally, we wish to thank all the parties who took part in the process, and I can confirm to all of you and to the Kenyans at large that many went over and above the call of duty and literally burnt the midnight oil to find solutions to this problem.